Hi, it's Derek here from YouTube. Thanks for looking at my YouTube channel. I'm also Scotty Lad 2 from both the Mr. Excel forum and the Excel forum, where people with a liking for Excel go and try and help each other out, answer questions, come up with solutions to whatever someone might need. One of the ones I've helped on recently was this one. Chap who sent it in. He works in a store. They supply the services with uniforms, and he's got a form that he likes to fill in as he's taking an order. It allocates a price. I've got an extra column here we don't need. Right, so I'll leave it there for a moment. I'll show you at the end of the formula why. So when at the moment he's got Navy selected, he wants a drop down so that when he selects Army, he'll get the options for Army trousers, which are green. I'm not sure what DPM is. I think probably pleated or something anyway. He gets the Army colours of shirts, and he gets the Army boots, and Army beret and the Army boots. When this selection changes to RAF of different colours, you can have a blue or a white shirt. The beret is definitely a different colour, and the boots, same type of boots. And what he also wants is, because he has to record how much each person's order is worth, he has to create a little order form here, which forgot to sum, and sends it away. So essentially this is what he's wanting. This column here, I've just created it because the only way I can think to make this table, it will occasionally throw up an error, and this will deal with the error. So his data wasn't great in terms of how it was set up. What I want to do is create a table from that data. So I'm going to do all this on sheet 3. So first things first, we'll go back to sheet 1. We'll get a copy of his data, which is all here. Control C copies it all. And just while I'm on this page, this is all the formulas that we're going to use. Quite a few for such a small output, but that's what I wanted. So we're going to have data validation, named ranges. We're going to use a match function inside of the offset function. We're going to use indirect inside of a Vlookup, and that extra column was to deal with the errors that may get thrown up. This is what this last one is. So over to sheet 3. First thing for pasted data in, the data itself it's not great. It's in individual cells all the way along here. I'm going to try and tidy that up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is highlight this row here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. Holding Control.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please?
I do apologise for that. Both the phone and my text messages started going, so I'll try and do this again. I'm going to just clean up this data just a little, like get rid of these colons. They're not needed. I'm not sure why the original has them there. Not everyone's data comes from themselves. It's sometimes imported. And let's have price here as well. Okay, what we're wanting is a column where this. Okay, back again. Hopefully that's the last interruption just now. Right, we're going to tidy this data up. Move the silly. I'm just going to capitalise that so we've got them all in the same format. Don't need to, I just feel like doing it. Right, what we want is a column of these joined together. So easy way to do it, and a quick way to do it. We're going to say 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Select 6 rows there and hold down Control. Select same 6 underneath the column where the trousers and shorts are, etc., and do it in the third section as well. So you've now got 3 rows selected, and the formula we're going to put in is just a joining formula. We're going to say equals, and these are all relative, so we're going to say equals the top line, then we're going to use the ampersand, and then we're going to use double quotes and hit the space bar and then double quotes again and then the ampersand. And what that there is a space, so we're going to say we're equaling A2 and space, and it's going to be B2. So just click on it, hold Control and tap Enter, and that's hopefully everything in the column that needs to be there. We're then going to bring the price over, so again just highlight the same, the rows next to it, 3 rows. It is relative again, so highlight, 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 and now type in on equals, go up to the price, enter the first one, and then hold Control and tap Enter. You've got your prices over now, and I want to adjust these values here. We don't need anything up there anymore, so we're just going to right click on that, right click on the edge of this highlighted lot here, move it about, move it back. You'll get unhold the right click, you'll get there this dialog, and now says copy here as values only. Left click that, and that's took all the formulas out which we want. What we want, should have actually done that first, doesn't matter, but we'll go that and that and that, highlight all them, and we're going to say equals this here, comma, Control Enter, and on the same 3 cells next, equals price, Control Enter. Right, so now we've got all that set up. Again, I'm just going to highlight to get rid of these wee formulas. Control, you can do this much quicker if I'm not talking so much. Now that we've got all that set up, we're just going to highlight all this. We don't need them anymore. Right click, and I'm just going to delete it. It'll move all the cells up. That's what we've got. I want them all in one row. So I'm just going to move them over like that. Highlight all the cells you want to move. Wait till this here turns into a crosshair. If you let it go up, 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 up. Oh, that's in a crosshair. Left click, and you can now drag that to wherever you want it. I want it here, and that's fine. Now, we want a data validation list. We'll make it here, and that validation list, you can either refer to a source. I shall show how to get this up quite quickly. If you go into the data tab, go into data validation, click here, or the keyboard shortcut is Alt-D-L. If you hit the tab key at that point and then tap the letter L, we're wanting the list. What's going to be in our list? Well, it's going to be Navy, it's going to be Army, and it's going to be RAF. So we'll just type it in Navy, separated by a comma, then Army, and I'm typing them exact as they are there. You don't need to, I'm doing it that way. And the last one is RAF. So each one separated by a comma, no space, and no comma after the last one. You could also have had these written in a cell somewhere, Navy, and then underneath that Army, and then underneath that RAF, and then hit the cell range selector button. If you tapped that, you could have then just highlighted the cells where they were written in, and instead of having the words written in here, you would have an equals and a cell range. This is my preferred method for this because we're not going to change the list. That's it, and it saves cluttering up anywhere, and there's the list as we had it. I'll keep the top one selected for now. Now, one thing we do have to do is move this down. So select the whole lot, again go back to the crosshair, left click and just drag it down. Now I'm going to make some ranges. First one is going to be select the word navy. Don't actually have to select the word navy, I've selected it because I want to, but we only want to go down as far as where it says the word army. We want both columns selected, and then in this box here just type in navy. Actually, because I've already done a demonstration of this, it's not going to let me use that same name, so I'll have to use a different name for this. We'll just type navy. We're on sheet 3, so we'll say navy S, Navy S, and I'll put that capital S just so we know it's different. Same with this, we're going to have army selected down as far as the next service here. I'm just going to type ARMY. Small S this time, it's army S. I'll not be typing these names, so it doesn't matter how I type them, to be honest, after this. And it's just going to be RAF small s. So just to make sure that these aren't referencing somewhere else, we'll say army, that's fine. Navy with the S is fine, and RAF with it, that's fine as well. And our drop down is here. And what we want down here is to make some reference to this, so when we select trousers, what we're going to have here, we'll take this over just a bit. Item, we'll call this here, and there we're going to call it price. And the item is going to be trousers times 2. We're going to have shirts times 2. We're going to have beret, and we're going to have boots. Now again, I'm going to make some named ranges. The ranges are going to have to tweak with the names because I've already got ranges named with what we would be using, and because I've already made this tutorial. So what we're going to use the offset function. I'm going to do them. I'll do the first formula here and explain it to you, then I'm going to pause and do the rest of them in pause mode, otherwise this video will get far too long. We're going to use an offset function, equals offset, and what we're going to offset is, what the offset does is it asks you to pick a reference as a starting point, and you can then go from that down X number of X number of rows and X number of columns across. Our reference is going to be A1. I'm going to lock that because it's always going to be A1. And then comma. Now, a row reference, now when we select navy, from A1 we're going to go down 1 row. And for the trouser range, we're going to have it being 2 rows high. But it actually needs to be 1 row plus 1. I'll show you, it's easier than trying to explain it. We're going to match this word here, whatever's in this drop down, that's what's going to be our match. That's going to determine where we're starting from within this row here. The range for the match is indeed this row, and we'll lock it, comma, and our match type is going to be exact. Now, navy selected, so this will produce 1. Control Z, undo that. So we're saying we're starting at A1 and we want to go down 1 row. Well, actually we don't, we want to go down 2 rows. When we're selecting trousers, we're going to be down, it's going to be the second and third row. When we get to army, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be 8. But we're actually wanting to go down for that. So the way to accommodate this is if we add a 1 on here in the first instance, and that 1 is going to change for the first 2 items is going to be fine, we use 1. For the next one we're going to have to come down 3 rows. When we select army and we want to pick the shirts, we're going to have to come down 3 rows. It might be better to demonstrate it here. So when we pick navy, we'll come down 2 rows. So we're matching navy, and then if we say +1, that'll bring us to here, and we're going to have a 2 row high. So that's 1, 2. When we pick shirts, we're going to be navy, and it'll have to be +3, +1, 2, 3. When we get to beret, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when we get to boots, it'll be 6. Hopefully that's understood. If not, I'll give you a quick show once I've got them all done. I'm just going to pause this in the meantime. Okay, just to show you what this is going to look like. This is what's going to be available in the drop down. So for the selection of trousers, we're going to have only these 2 items available. When we select shirts, we're going to only have 2 shirts available. When we select the beret, we're only going to have 1 available, and when we select boots, but they're going to be service dependent. Now when we select the navy, for instance, we're getting navy boots at the bottom. When we select army, we're going to get this type of boot at the bottom. So the offsets are like this. For the first 2 items here, whenever there's 2 items, we want the height, the last argument is going to be 2, and it's the same with this, height 2, and this one here needs to be height 1 actually, as does, because it's only a single item, we're going to return 1. If I change this to a different service, it's all going to go pretty much, these 2 items are always going to show because there's only 1 item in that range. Now this will make a lot more sense. I'll show you the first one again, and then I'll pause while I do the rest of it. We're going to put all this into the name manager, and we're going to create named ranges to then have in drop downs within these cells. If we go to the data tab, and we go to the, if we go to the formula tab and then we go to the name manager, that's one way of doing it. We're going to paste this name inside, Control C to copy. We're going to call it trousers. I'll put 2 S's on the named ranges just so you can see. So I'll do the first one again and then we'll pause. You can get the name manager using this shortcut here on the ribbon. Click that, go into the name manager. My preferred route is using the shortcut, which is Control F3. Same place. We're going to create a new name. So it's going to be trousers, but we've already got that there, so I'll call it TTROUSERS. I'll clear that box here, and then Control V is what I just put in there. Click OK. Now when I hit this here, it should highlight what this name now refers to. So we've got RAF selected, so if we go down to RAF, and there you have it, it's the first 2 rows from there. So the match, for the offset function, the match is matching this RAF, and we're coming down these 2 rows here. We're actually only coming down 1, and we've got a selection of 2 rows high. So we're going to keep that. I'm going to click close. Now I'm going to pause that and I'm going to do the rest for you coming back. Stand by. Okay, next stage in this is to get the, sorry, I made my head sit there. The next phase in this is to get the data validation lists for each article. So I'm going to highlight 2 at a time here. Keyboard shortcut is Alt D L. I'm going to put a list in here. When it comes down to what list is it, tap F3. We did everything with double first letter, so it's a TT for trousers we're looking for. TT, click OK, click OK. I've got 2 sets of trousers in there, same one. Again, we'll do the same with the shirts. Alt D L. Hit the tab key, press the letter L, hit the tab key, hit F3. We're looking for shirts, starting with double S. Click OK, click OK. The last one, second last one, Alt D L. Alt D L. tab L, add that, F3, this time we're looking for berry with a double B, hit enter, hit OK, and you can do all this pretty much with a keyboard. Again, Alt D L, tab L, we're looking for paste names, I'm looking for boots with two B's, hit OK, hit OK. Right, hopefully that's a berry in there, berry blue, and hopefully this is boots. Yep, that's fine, that's same all there now. Just give a little border, you don't need to, I feel like we should. And to get the price across, the last bit is just a straightforward Vlookup, and we say equals Vlookup, hash VL brings it up to you. What are we looking up? We're looking up whatever's in this tab here. At the moment there's nothing. Comma, and we're looking up from where? Well, remember we named the ranges at the start. This is what we're going to use the indirect function for. And indirect lets you take a name, a text version of a name that you have already created as a named range. So easier to just show you. What do we call the army one? We called it army S, would be the first one. I'm just doing this slowly to show you on the first one. Column 2, column 0. At the moment we're going to have a value error. Pause that because I think I made a wee error. Right, back there. I'm not really sure what I was. I'll need to review the tape. I was possibly referring to the wrong thing there, but that's all I'm highlighted as accountancy value for the currency. So there you have it. That's kind of what we're looking up. The VLOOKUP is looking up whatever's in E3. It's looking it up from the indirect to whatever's in the cell here. So it's going to select this RAF column, and it's looking up at column 2, just here, and it's returning the value, an exact match for whatever's in there to there. So trousers blue and £15 is correct. If we change this to DPM, we want £30, that looks all correct. So all I need to do now, that's that formula there, and in place I can just drag it down. Got a lot of NAs at the moment because there's nothing there. Going to wrap it up in an error handling. There's two errors. Are we going to wrap this up in a 2007 onwards error handler equals if error? And basically what that's saying, if this here evaluates to an error, what do you want? And we're going to say double blanks, and that's it. So there you have it with an error handler, if error. If this formula here evaluates to an error, all the way up to here, what do we want if there is an error? Well, we want that there, which is double blank with no space. If we just drag that down, that clears up the errors. So now, what else we want to do is we look at the price of the navy trousers, 20 quid, to the RAF, 15 quid. So if we change this here to navy, you see that in the navy we don't have that version of trousers, so that there is cleared, and we do have trousers blue. That's now changed to the appropriate price. And this formula or table here, you can now just lose it. A lot of it, if it's never ever going to change, you could commit this to memory. We'll leave that for another video. Hope we managed to pick all that up. Sorry about the interruptions with phones, etc. email me or comment on my YouTube channel, or email me Derek_Mac@sky.com. It's Derek_Mac. Derek is spelled DEREK, Mac is MACK.